profession to the next generation of school psychology students and practitioners. To date, this has included securing grant funding, enlisting volunteers and mentors, developing curriculum and content, and presenting monthly virtual meetings with a multitude of students from at least 8 different Ohio colleges and universities. Furthermore, she has consulted with experts in the Ohio Psychological Association and the Ohio State University to make historic efforts in recruiting and welcoming a diverse group of students into these initiatives. Her efforts have now earned the attention of the National Association of School Psychologists, and our Ohio program, thanks to Ashley, seems certain to serve as a model for similar efforts nationwide. Ashley also supports the next generation of practitioners at the nationwide level by serving as a volunteer for the Early Career Mentorship Program within NASS. She has invested herself in countless other endeavors that have also had significant and lasting impact in our shared profession. One recent example of this is her partnership with ODE, OCALI, the Interagency Work Group on Autism, and school psychologists in the Akron Public Schools, including Jen and Kelly, to support the creation of a statewide autism task force. The goal of this group is to improve the identification of students with autism, provide guidance and support to school-based teams, and developing programs to meet the needs of these students. Ashley has authored high-quality research that has been published in the Ohio State Psychologist and the NASS Communique. She's presented at the Trainers of School Psychologists Conference in March of this year. She's been an active executive board member of the Southwestern Regional Affiliate of OSPA, which recently included her serving as a presenter for a 2-part training series on conducting trauma-focused functional behavior assessment and behavior intervention. Ashley is a diplomate of the American Board of School Neuropsychology, an adjunct professor for the University of Dayton School Psychology Program, a reviewer for the upcoming 7th edition of Best Practices in School Psychology, and she will be serving on a committee for NASS to provide feedback about the upcoming reauthorization of IDEA. As her nominators candidly expressed, Ashley has accomplished more to this date than many school psychologists do in an entire career. In spite of all these laudable accomplishments and exceptional contributions to our profession, many of us are going to remember Ashley for one more thing long after her immediate past presidency concludes. When assuming her position as OSPA president, we were just entering our global pandemic. From supporting our association as we pivoted to virtual conferences, to leading executive board meetings virtually as we joined from dozens of remote locations, Ashley was our constant anchor for the shared work of this association. Perhaps the finest example of her reach were those weekly emails that we were all getting from her for the entire membership. Her weekly offerings were full of important updates on news impacting our profession, links to the latest cutting-edge research, compilations of resources to help us do our job, and no small amount of ideas for supporting each other and being good stewards of our own self-care. She was at the center of all of this, keeping us informed when we needed insight, keeping us connected when we felt so isolated, and keeping us moving forward in most challenging times. It's for all these reasons that the Executive Board of the Ohio School Psychologists Association is proud to recognize Mrs. Ashley Lockemer as the 2021 Ohio School Psychologist of the Year. Congratulations.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've been in front of this many people, and also with this many people at one time. And I am so happy to look out and see the membership that we've been working so hard to support. So thank you all for being here today. Opportunities will knock on your door every morning, but if you keep sleeping, they will simply pass you by. At first, people refuse to believe that a strange new thing can be done. Then they begin to hope that it can be done. Then they see that it can be done. Then it's done, and the world wonders why it wasn't done centuries ago. I absolutely cannot think of a set of quotes that more adequately and comprehensively captures all of the challenges encountered, lessons learned, and how I felt during my presidential tenure. Since starting this role, I've learned a lot of new faces, roles, procedures, and even about my own levels of flexibility, perseverance, and my Ruth Bader Ginsburg advocacy spirit. As I'm rounding the corner on the final month of my OSPA presidential tenure, I often think back to the day that I initially signed up to run for president. I thought would be a part of my personal or professional reality. The opportunity simply arose, and I took it having no idea of the challenge or all of the fun that lie ahead. There may have been a few gray hairs involved too that have since multiplied exponentially, but those only signal wisdom, right? Harold Macmillan has said that no man succeeds without a good woman behind him, wife or mother. If it is both, he is twice blessed indeed. I would argue that no one succeeds without a support team. They're cheerleaders and supporters in the background. Always there, never faltering, without fail. I'm so thankful for everyone who's been so supportive and has provided guidance and plenty of comedic relief. Thank you, Chuck Archer. Along the way, and I'm eternally grateful for this opportunity to be recognized as OSPA's 2021 School Psychologist of the Year. I must now extend some professional thank yous. To Miami University's graduate student school psychology group, who fortuitously visited my social psychology class my sophomore year during NSCW. Thank you for introducing me to the field of school psychology. I am forever grateful for your help in finding my professional passion. To Dr. Stephen Truscott and all of my other professors at Georgia State University, past and present supervisors, for your ongoing tutelage and supervision over the past 15 years. To Dr. Dan Miller for introducing me to the fascinating field of school neuropsychology, and to Dr. Susan Davies at the University of Dayton for the opportunity to share my brain-related passion and nerdiness with school psychology students. To Caitlin Lang, for your camaraderie on the FOSTA Executive Board and for inviting me to my first ever OSPA board meeting, which allowed me to take my first step toward OSPA leadership, and for being the best colleague ever. To Dr. Eric Merkel, who made the first outreach to welcome me to the crew at the OSPA 2019 Fall Conference, as well as Chuck Archer and Bradley Paramore, who showed me the way and all of the realities of state leadership at my first conference as a member of the presidential trio in Baltimore, Maryland. To Ann Brennan and Rachel Chilton, who provided seamless and timely support and insight on how to respond in more situations than I can name or even remember. To the entire OSPA Executive Board, who willingly let me in and took a chance on a rookie, and remained receptive to my brainstorming session and initiative ideas at times. To NAS, OSPA, IUC, University of Dayton, Alana Bernstein, Katie Pfeiffer, Annie Justice, Emily Matka, Mark Jones, Olivia LeBlanc, Caitlin Haynes, the DEI Committee, Dr. Stephen Stone Spali at Ohio State, Ayanna Troutman and her team members, Dr. Leandra Paris, OSPA's graduate student liaison, volunteer practitioners, and leaders of our new OSPA MBSPA, TAS, and the Southwest chapter of the School Psychologists of Western Ohio chapter of FSPO. And anybody else who I'm forgetting, which I'm sure is plenty. Thank you so much for helping to get the Future School Psychologists of Ohio Club off the ground and for continuing the initiative in the future. And for those of you who haven't seen our new socio, add your t-shirts and swagger outside, so don't forget to pick those up. To ODE, OEC, OCALI, IUC's Katie Mother, OSPA's Autism Task Force, including Caitlin Lang, Lisa Saylor, Dennis Lee, and Kelly Price, and OSPA's Conference Committee for your ongoing collaboration on autism-related eligibility criteria and training initiatives. A special thanks to OCALI's Teresa Cobelt for inviting me to that first interagency admire and instill in all of your leadership and expertise on social justice initiatives. It's been such a pleasure to continue to learn from you. To Lisa Saylor and the Greater Montgomery County ESG organization for granting me the opportunity to engage in my current non-traditional role and the opportunity to apply all of my niche skills. And even on Sundays to go down rabbit holes tirelessly to figure out some very complex cases. To all of you, our OSPA members, who have shown your support to one another and have continued to believe in me during my presidential tenure. Now, personally, I must also thank my family, who's all here. To my parents, who have always urged me to think critically and to ask questions and to work hard, to take a leadership role and to keep advocating for what I believe in no matter what. You have answered my late night phone calls during my Tribe celebrations, or needed to vent, or seek a parental hug or encouragement over the phone. You're the epitome of strength and have been such amazing mentors. It all started with you, and I'm eternally grateful. To my late grandparents, Donald and Eunice Keating and Rachel and Mary Helenos, who were there from the very beginning as the second and third set of parents, and always said that you were so proud of me and encouraged me to work hard and never give up no matter what. Thank you for modeling determination, resiliency, and the beautiful and valuable gift that is family. To my sister Sarah, for your amazing time management counseling sessions on how to squeeze in more productive time into an already jam-packed schedule over the past year and a half. Seriously, it works so well, and I'm still in awe of your drive and stamina. Finally, to Caleb, Malia, and Megan, you all, my new family, have been my rock, my daily love and support. You have provided me hugs, high fives in response to the growth of several OSPA initiatives, and an ear when I go on my neuropsychological rants. You have understood when the computer had to be out after hours again. You've made me coffee and suggested timeouts when I needed to take a break to sleep or to dry my tears. Most of all, thank you for your unending support and encouragement to keep going no matter what. I'm so excited for what is all to come for our family in the future. As I stand before you all today, I'm simply elated when I reflect on what an amazing 15 years it has been since I've entered this field. School psychology is my love and my passion, and it continues to shine in my heart each and every day. And you know what? It still doesn't feel like work. So thank you all again for